his waffles. Maple syrup dripping from his fake roll. Who did he see when he heard I was there? Now it seems that
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Log Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, May the 16th, 2023. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Munching on something, as always. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Oh, it's just pretzel sticks. You know what I love about pretzel sticks?
What do you love about pretzel sticks?
You can't make those stupid ass necklaces out of them.
No, you can't. You can't. Well, I mean, you could. You could be even more stupid and glue them to a piece of string and still make a pretzel.
Oh yeah, but then you'd be more stupid than you usually are.
You'd be more stupid than you normally are.
Normally are, yes.
Right, exactly.
Because today is
Happy Try Not to Be As Stupid As You Normally Are Day.
You know, I actually blew it even before I woke up.
Before you woke up. Wow, I was going to say before I left the house, but
no,
before you woke up, you blew it. How'd you do that?
Yeah, no, I'd set myself up the night before. I got new earbuds, so I had plugged them into the block.
Right.
To charge them.
Sure.
And then when I went to bed, I plugged my phone into the cable, not plugging the cable for the phone back into the block. So my alarm never went off because the phone died.
There you go.
So yes, I was stupider than I normally am before I even.
Well, you know, I mean, you could push that to yesterday, because the screw up was actually yesterday. It wasn't today.
Okay, I'll take that.
All right.
That makes me feel a little better.
A little bit better. All right.
A little better.
Glad I could be here. Glad I could help out.
But I'm going to try. What I'm going to do today to be not as stupid as I normally am is I'm holding it to 2 beers today.
You're holding it to 2 beers today.
Yes, one's a 12-ounce can.
Right.
You know, so because I want to keep and it's a lager, so I want to keep the alcohol low, and I want lower out, and then just this one, another small can.
Another small can.
Yeah,
just that small can.
Yeah, just that small can. So
it's
just 2 beers today.
That's a 3.2 ounce beer, right?
I think it's a 10 actually. Let's not get silly.
No, it's not a 3.2 ounce beer.
No, it's a 10 ounce beer.
It's a 10 ounce beer.
I think it's a 10 ounce beer.
All right.
I don't know. It doesn't say on here, does it?
Fair enough.
All right.
Anyway,
we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that. So you're gonna have 2 beers. I may have 3. I may have a third. I don't know. We'll see what I get to. They're all low on my end anyway. So it's also Sea Monkeys Day, right? Happy National Sea Monkey Day.
Yeah.
If you celebrate.
Also known as brine shrimp.
Brine shrimp.
So if you have an aquarium and you ever fed your fish brine shrimp, just picture those little sea monkeys with their crowns and whatever, and they're going, yeah, as the fish are eating them.
Exactly. So
that's all they were.
Exactly. All right. So any other days you want to go over?
No, not really.
Love a tree day.
Oh, yeah, for the tree huggers. I did love a tree when I was younger. There's a tree in our backyard. I used to climb to the top of that thing, and I'd read.
There you go.
Up in the top of that tree.
Good for you. Well, on that note.
I can't climb a tree anymore.
No, neither can I. I mean, I suppose if I really had to, I would.
My upper body strength just won't pull my bulk up.
There you go. Well, there's something you could do to fix that problem.
Yeah, it's called...
Drink 2 beers on the show every week instead of 3.
Yes, because going on a diet and working out is not an option.
No. Not at all.
I'm reducing my beer intake. It's not an option either.
Yeah, that's fair enough. All right. Shall we? I think it's time to bring our guest on the show.
We should bring the guest on the show. He suffered long enough.
He suffered long enough. Exactly. Please welcome to the show, Tim from Artis. That's our part. Tim Bubser from Artis Brewing in Freehold, New Jersey. Tim, thank you. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You got a longer, more exuberant one right there. There you go. Become the sound effect. I'm going to stop it now.
There you go. All right, fair enough.
It's a really long one.
It was a really long one. Well, I mean, he deserves the applause that he gets.
He does,
right?
but...
Exactly.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So, all right. How are you this evening, Tim?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. Recovering. I'm recovering.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm trying to as well.
I'm thirsty.
Trip, you're thirsty. You know what? Before we get started, Dave, why don't you pour your beer? What are you drinking?
I'm not pouring my beer because this beer was not meant to be poured into.
You're gonna drink it out of a can, all right?
Yeah, it's this. It's this. I'm holding up to the microphone. Oh,
You're holding it to the microphone.
I failed once again. I'm trying.
Once again, you were more stupid than you normally were.
This can lager out from Carton Brewing, and basically this is just a very well brewed PBR. It's got different hops in it, but it's and I love PBR. It's not that it's no knock on this beer. Actually, it's high praise. I love PBR, and this is just a very well done. So I think pouring into a glass is doing it injustice. It's meant to be drank out of the can, I believe.
Fair enough. Tim, what are you drinking there?
I just similar to a light beer. I just our party and I just a light American adjunct lager.
Nice.
Just something light, easy drinking. Nothing you gotta think too much about. Just sit back and enjoy after a long day at the brewery. So
very nice. Was that on when? Did I have that? Was that on when Matt and I were there?
Yeah, it's one of the beers that's going to be on probably all the time.
Gotcha.
So I've had that on since day one. Already been through a couple batches of that. So making some minor tweaks as I keep rebrewing it. Yeah, so far people seem to like it, so I'm trying not to change it too much.
Fair enough. And just to round it out, I am drinking from Grist House Brewing in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a crisp, which is a Kolsch. So there you go. Grist House. There's a nice can artwork. There you go. So anyway, and I'm drinking it in a mechanical glass. So cheers.
Cheers.
Anyway.
Cheers.
I could have grabbed mine and poured this in, but I'm drinking out of the can.
Oh, it's pretty crisp, actually.
It does.
See what I did there?
Aptly named.
Aptly named. Anyway, we got a comment already from Matt Potensky. We had the lager, lightly sweet corn note. There you go. And he didn't check his Untapped. He remembers everything. Even after the last 12 days, he remembered everything. So
then he didn't do it right.
Then he didn't do it right. No, he did it right.
There's actually rice in there, not corn. So
yeah. There you have it. All right.
Hold on. We got to do the.
What's that?
No, that's not the one I wanted.
That's not the one you wanted.
There we go.
All right, fine. Anyway, okay.
New toy.
Yeah, you got to play with it too. All right, Tim.
Yes.
The first question we ask everybody. It's actually probably the fifth I'm asking you, but the first question we ask everybody to start the show. What was to the best of your recollection, was the first craft beer you can remember having?
The first craft beer that I remember having, I don't know if I remember the exact one, but when I first got into beers, I got into mostly like Belgian styles,
sure.
Like Chimay, La Chouffe, those kind of styles, which were, I guess, 16 or so years ago when I was started legally drinking.
Very nice.
Those were kind of like, the ones in style a little bit. So I kind of got on into
not bad beers to.
I was going to say, I think that's a first on the show.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Chimay being the.
Chimay or La Chouffe being a first beer. That's awesome.
And then of course, like when I got into home brewing, those were the styles that I tried to make. Which also, when I first got into home brewing, I didn't really have like temperature controlled fermenters, so like Belgians were kind of like.
The way to go.
The way to go.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, but over time, the more I did it, the more you learn and kind of realize what's important throughout the steps, and realize that's a really important part of brewing. So.
Oh hell yeah. La Chouffe is an amazing beer. I love La Chouffe, and Chimay. The the quad is just
Yeah.
I probably like the double as much as I like the quad. The red and the blue are probably my faves, but.
I kind of love Mac Chouffe only because it's a Belgian brewery doing a Scottish ale.
That's true. That's a good beer.
Love that beer.
Nice Chouffe during the holidays is a great beer,
of course.
In fact, I probably in my Christmas beer cabinet over here, I probably have a couple of Nice Chouffes in there. But anyway, enough of that.
Whole cabinet dedicated to Christmas
beers. Yeah.
Well, it's 3/4 full of celebration.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So, how did you get started brewing? Like you just said, you obviously started home brewing, making some Belgians and stuff like that. What sparked you to say, hey, I need to brew this for myself?
I don't know. I guess I always, kind of was into beer. I wasn't really so much as into brewing beer as I was into drinking beer. And then
In the beginning, who was, right?
That's how it starts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love to brew it, but I don't drink the stuff.
yeah. And then I don't know what it was for. It was either for a birthday or Christmas or something. My parents got me a one of those like Mr. Beer, like those things.
We got to chalk that up. That's what's 15 now, John, or it's got to be more than 15.
More than 15. Way more than 15. Yeah.
And like that was funny.
As you said, this is our 132nd show. We've had more than 15 people say that.
I'm pretty certain. Yeah, we've had a lot of Mr. Beers.
But obviously, I didn't know at the time that Mr. Beer isn't the way you really make beer. But I think it was that first like initial process of like just mixing the ingredients together and then like actually, pitching the yeast and coming back the next day and watching it fermenting that like kind of sparked my interest into it a little bit more.
Right.
So then I kind of like started obviously getting into it a little bit more, researching, and then I started making my own all grain equipment, making a mash tun out of my cooler, this and that, and I kind of just built from there. So
nice. That's awesome. So how long ago was that?
That was probably about when I was around 21, 22, so about 16 years ago.
Gotcha.
So homebrewed for a few years there, and then
if it was earlier than that, that's okay. The cops don't watch.
No, it's I think it was right around there. And then I was in and out of college, didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I thought I like brewing beer, so maybe I'll try and make a go of it. And then 2014, I went up to the American Brewery Field up in Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
So went to school there. Coincidentally, Andy Joya from Bird's Mouth was in my class.
Okay.
That's how I knew him.
That guy.
And that guy there, he's Samurai's wearing. And then him and I, since we were the only people from Jersey there, we kind of became friends and kept in touch ever since. And then him and I even worked together for a few years over at Kane before he left to start his endeavor. And then so he'll keep touching.
I was actually not sitting, I was standing at Bird's Mouth talking to Andy, and I was like, what are you doing the rest of the day? And I'm like, where were we landing? Sure, because you need to get down to Artis. I'm like, Artis. I couldn't remember the time where he goes, well, it's in Freehold. I'm like, oh my God, that's right. So of course you do what anybody who does. You go to Federici's, grab a pie, go out the back door, and find Artis Brewing from there. You must have a lot of empty Federici's boxes.
Yeah, a lot of empty Federicis, and the restaurant that we're attached to next door, Charcoal, they actually make a nice brick oven or wood fire pizza, whatever you want to call it.
Nice.
So a lot of people order from over there. Just you don't have to really walk down to Federici's and order, so they go next door. So
it depends if you want the charcoal or the thin crust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And surprisingly too, we have a sushi restaurant across the street, and a lot of people go there and bring sushi in.
Sushi and beer.
Yeah, which that's surprising, but I'll give it credit. I mean, that sushi's really good. So.
Well, I mean, if they're drinking the rice lager,
that's true. You're not wrong there.
Right, that works there.
Yeah, that definitely works.
And so you went up to Vermont. You came back, friends with Andy, and then so who worked at Kane first? You or Andy?
So Andy did his apprenticeship at Kane, and then ended up staying on and working there. I ended up doing my apprenticeship at Flying Fish. And then after Flying Fish, I got a job brewing down in Florida, down in Tampa.
Which brewery?
It's called Florida Avenue Brewing. They're still there, different owners, but I haven't been down there in a while. But they built a brand new facility. It looks pretty nice. I'll have to get down there and check it out.
Nice.
But yeah, I was down there for a little over a year, and then I linked back up with Andy. They were hiring at Kane, and then I moved back up to work with him there.
Nice. And the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah,
right?
the rest is history. He left a couple of years after that. I stayed on for I think I was there for about 7 years, and then decided to join the startup. Like we were talking a little bit before the show, downtown Freehold, right in the middle of everything. Takes room kind of focused, smaller, not really as much a production facility. So. Thought it'd be a different side of brewing that I never really got to see. I've always been on the production side.
Sure.
So I thought it'd be interesting to see what it's like, just working in a taste room focus, and then kind of have a little bit more freedom and creativity to kind of make the beers that I kind of like to make.
Oh yeah, and that's the place to make them too, because you could do a couple the smaller batches. Brewing brewed in 40 and 80 and 100 barrel batches
Exactly.
of, head high is not going to,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
which is great and all, but
Yeah.
you're, you want to,
for sure.
you want to do the, as Augie put it, the fuckery.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was one. I'm not going to say it. That was one. All right. So.
Yeah, I don't. I suppose I don't fuckery as much as he does.
No, I don't think anybody does.
Oh no, there are. It's just he's more successful.
He's more successful at the fuckery.
Yeah, he's more successful at it, but there are people that will do that. It's funny because I hadn't heard of Florida Avenue Brewing, so I looked up where it was. It's up north and west of Tampa.
Yeah. So when I worked there, it was nowhere near what it was what it is now. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you know this brewery down there called Brew Bus. They were brewing out of Cigar City at the time.
Yep.
So the owners bought Florida Avenue, and then they kind of just rebranded it. We're doing different style beers, and then they opened up a brand new facility up in Seminole Heights. But yeah, like I said, I haven't been up there yet, but it looks beautiful. So.
It's not far from one of my favorite places in Tampa, Mr. Dunderbox.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, that place is.
Yeah.
Oh, the food is amazing.
Yep.
The decor with all the blue and white flags and dead animals on the walls, but the beer list is outstanding. It's really hard to beat their beer list. I mean, you got a Dry Fontaine and Creek on tap, and not on tap, on bottles, and
I was going to say on tap. That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
I'd be on a plane tomorrow going down there.
I think he had a couple Cantillons on tap. One Cantillon on tap, but he definitely had some bottles when I was there.
Gotcha.
And now he brews his own beer.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how many breweries are down there in that one area.
Yeah, I get it. We got to get back down there soon, Samurai. We had a good day.
Oh, but St. Petersburg. I mean, I love as many as there are in Tampa. Two of my favorite breweries in that area are in St. Petersburg. So,
what are those two?
That would be Green Bench and Cycle.
Cycle. Yeah, they're two really good as well.
Yeah, and Cycle is if Cycle and Angry Chair, I think they compete on each other as to who can give people a bigger case of diabetes.
Oh hell yeah! Oh yeah,
that's amazing.
The last time I had a Cycle pastry stout was probably about 2 years ago. I think I think it's just out of my system.
Well, they had that one day they celebrate when they have about 30 of their pastry stouts on tap at once. I think it's 30, isn't it?
It's like 30, yeah.
Oh God,
yeah,
that's insane. I mean, it's not as bad as Zig. How many does Zig have on at a time?
54, 55, I think they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. It was 50. It was 54. This past one was 54. Some of them are. There's a couple that aren't pastry stouts, but most of them are.
You got any pastry stouts in the works there, Tim?
I don't. Maybe at some point. I know people really like them, but I was kind of more just focusing on just seeing what the people of Freehold like. Trying to do a little bit of everything and see what doesn't. So
zero in on your home base and what they want, and then go from there. Right.
Pay attention to demographics. Yep.
Yeah, which it does sound like they like pastry stouts. I did an oatmeal stout back in the winter, and I split half and half. So I did just normal oatmeal stout, and I toasted coconut and soaked it on the other half. And
was that coconut? Was that coconut burro?
That was the coconut burro.
That is really, really good. I enjoyed that.
Oh, appreciate that. Thank you. And then everyone still asks about it. That's been gone for a while, so I think I might be bringing that one back, even though it's summertime. But I think that lays the foundation for a pastry stout. So
it's funny because it almost the coconut and it almost came off as like Coco Lopez, right? Because it's nice and creamy. It was really good.
Nice. I got Matt has chimed in again, and I just want to put this up there. This is coming from him, and I'll echo it too. He says we can do a collab pastry stout.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
That's awesome. But all right. So let's talk about the space. Let's talk about Artis a little bit.
Okay.
When did that all come together? How did that come together? And then when?
So around 2019, the owners of the brewery, they also own a catering hall across the street, and this building came up for sale It was used to be like it used to be Freehold glass or old glass factory. People in town tell me stories about it all the time. And came up for sale, and the town of Freehold really wanted to do a brewery, but the owners are more like restaurant kind of focused. So the town kind of sort of asked them if they would be interested in putting a brewery in, so which they obviously said yes. So they split half the building. There's a restaurant, the other half is obviously the brewery. And I think they kind of sort of wanted to go for more of a vibe that doesn't really echo what you normally think a brewery kind of looks like, like kind of going into an old warehouse or whatever and kind of hanging around, picnic benches, this and that. So they kind of wanted to almost make it a brewery, but like also with the bar feel. So you guys have obviously been here, so it's a lot of the seating is bar seating, which most breweries aren't really sitting at a bar. It's more of a grab and sit at a table kind of thing. A couple TVs, so it's like kind of laid out like a bar, a couple TVs there, so everyone kind of watch sports or whatever got on TV.
Just no championships.
No championships.
Well, it can be. It's an event though.
Yeah. But it counts as an event.
It's an event.
Yeah. So I think they kind of laid the decor out, to be a little more, inviting and a little more like kind of homey and bar feel a little bit. So I think people have been liking that. One comment we get a lot is they kind of did this like epoxy floor that has like this blue, like they call it like a river or blue, like, so that's the first thing you see when you walk in, which I think is kind of interesting. So
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that with the quality of your beers, you're going to need a bigger space.
Yeah, that would be great.
You're going to need awesome. A bigger space.
I could see that happening fairly quickly.
Yeah. That would be a good. That would be a good problem
to have. That's great. That's a great problem to have. Yeah. We need to expand now. That's a great problem to have. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, no, absolutely. And the space is gorgeous. I mean, I love, and Matt and I were talking about. We talked about it with you when we were there. The old, what was that? That was a moved glass or whatever it did.
Yeah, so it moved glass across the building there. So they kind of repurposed it, fixed it up, and now it's a functioning crane if we ever need it. But that's also another talking piece when people come in for the first time.
It's painted nice. Cool. It's really cool look at. It's definitely a conversation piece. That's for sure. So
I think that's kind of interesting as well. It kind of saves a little bit of the history of the building. Yeah, so I had there's this regular that comes in. He's about 80 or so years old, and he grew up in Freehold his whole life. So he comes in here and always starts telling stories about what was here and cool things and how it's a glass factory. And it used to be a butcher shop back in the day and all this kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool hearing stories, especially from a place that I'm not from. So it's kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
that we're like the next step in the story of Freehold.
That's awesome. So talk about some of the beers you're brewing.
So the two staples I have 3 staples on. One is called The One, which is just your classic American style IPA, which I think is, was more approachable, more drinkable. One I could sit there and have a few. The other one is Glory Days Haze, your hazy style IPA. Which surprisingly to me is one of the I guess it shouldn't be a surprise because it is one of the more popular beer styles, but is definitely our best seller.
And for good reason. I had that one. That was really good.
Appreciate it. With that, I try to make it a series almost. So every time I brew it, I change the hops up, but I keep the same grain base and all. So it's like each batch is familiar, but there's always something different. So I kind of thought that was, rather than coming out with a new beer every time, a new name and this and that, it was, something that people would be familiar with, but also enjoy, the difference, in that different hops, kind of play with each other. So.
What hops would you have had in it if it was served in late January?
In late January, that was probably, it was Citra, Waimea, and I believe Nelson. I think I did.
Oh, I didn't pick up
Yeah.
Nelson, but the other
think-
two, yeah, because it was had citrus and dank.
Oh, it wasn't Nelson. It was Waidi.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
there it is.
Nice.
Yeah, it was lovely, nice creamy body to it.
Yeah, it was. Like I think people that enjoy like that kind of style, I think that really kind of hits home for them. So, excited to hear good feedback about it.
Very nice. Very nice. Cool. What do you have coming out later? Do you have anything new coming up soon or later this spring into the summer, so to speak?
So I'm kind of putting together my summer plan. This weekend, I'm gonna have a ESB. I'll put an ESB out.
Okay, now you're
Nice.
talking.
Yeah, that was I kind of do brew beers that people like, and I also stick one in that I kind of enjoy, which I know is kind of becoming more popular again, but it's not the fastest moving beer. But I got a nitro handle for it, so
Nice.
I'll do
Nice.
a little nitro pour for it. Wish I had the stuff to do a cask and all, but maybe down the line I will. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one. I'm gonna definitely have one on Friday when I get done. And then like I said, still trying to plan out the summer. We also just started doing a fruited sour series, Sour Grove, that seems pretty popular as well. So I'm gonna try to keep that going like a Glory Days, but change like the fruit up every time I do it. So again, it's not like something familiar, but also kind of different.
Nice.
These kettle sours, or
Yeah, it'd be kettle sour. Yeah, I was kind of going back and forth with Mike over at Twin Lights, because he uses the Sourvisier yeast, and he was telling me about it, and I kind of I had his, and it is really good. But there's just something about doing it this way that I kind of enjoy a little bit more.
Nice. Very nice. That's awesome. Any events you guys are doing coming up?
Yeah, so I have a little bit more control.
Who is that?
Carrie's watching TV in the next room. I don't think she understands how loud it is.
I was trying to figure out if it was outside or if it was in there or whatever it was. But...
No, she's. I don't think she understands how loud the TV is right now. She's watching some action movie that's got Marky Mark, Puss in Boots. I forget his name right now, and the Spider-Man kid.
Puss in Boots and the Spider-Man Kid.
that
sounds like the name of a movie right there. Puss in Boots and the Spider-Man Kid.
Is that Benicio del Toro or something?
No. It was Antonio Banderas.
And sorry, that's it.
That's it. And the Spider-Man kid is, I can't remember his name right now. He's dating Zendaya and all that.
Nice.
I remember his name.
Very nice. Cool. That got silent all of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, I just went Tom Holland. That's his name.
Tom Holland. There you go.
Oh, and Zendaya's in it.
There you go.
What is this movie? No, she's not. That's the Spider-Man movie. Never mind. I didn't look that up to get his name.
Second beer there, Samurai?
Yeah, no, I'm into it. So we were up hiking up in Minnewaska State Park in New York. I tell you, New York State does great job with their parks.
Yeah.
They're really, really nice up there. And not too far from there, 5 miles west of there, is Rough Cut Brewing. Mm-hmm. Van Steen Machine is their robust porter. And this beer really, really impressed me. The reason it impresses me is when you usually get like a robust porter, people tend to ratchet the ABV up on this. They want to get, all the flavors, all that roast out of there. And I think if you ratchet up the ABV, I think you take away from it. This is only 5.9%. And you get all this friggin' beautiful malty, roasty bitterness to it. And it's just it's one of the best robust porters I've had.
Really?
I was really, really impressed with this. And their food's really good too. Yes, they're in New York. They can have beer and food.
Was it I'm reading that right? Kerhonkson,
New York.
Kerhonkson, New York.
As a matter of fact, if you go there, their Wi-Fi password is like Kerhonskin 1, 2, 5, 6, 8, 8, 9 or something like that.
It'd be funny if it was that and you actually remembered that. That's pretty funny.
It's not too far. It's part of that's my employee number at work that I just said. But I think it's because I remember thinking.
Anybody want to log into his email?
No, it's not my password. My employee ID and my password are two entirely different things. But yeah, I've been in my job so long. My employee ID is 5 digits long. Most employees.
You're saying your employee ID is 003.
Mine's 5 digits long and begins with a 1.
There you go. Exactly.
Give you an idea.
Yeah. Tim, you drinking another beer? A different beer? Or you,
No, I'm still on the same one
that?
here. Yeah, trying to cut out the weekday drinking a little bit.
Gotcha.
So
We do except for Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday's the only day, and I might occasionally, we'll go from there.
Especially after Nashville and
Oh, please.
and then I was at the Beers by the Bay on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Fair,
Nice.
so yeah.
We were still on our way. We were in Pittsburgh on Saturday on our way back still. So
did you skip the distilleries then?
Yeah, I didn't do any of the distilleries. No.
John, did you skip the distilleries?
The distilleries in Nashville and Kentucky. No. We went to Louisville on the way back.
And which distilleries you hit?
We hit, well, first of all, because I want to take a sip of it, I'm drinking speaking of Nashville, from Southern Grist, I'm drinking Crisp as Hellas.
So we've got a theme here. Crisp.
So, yeah. So that's yours. This is mine. There we go. Yeah. So Crisp as Hellas from Southern Grist and Crisp Kolsch from Grist House. So there you go.
Definitely a theme going.
Definitely a theme going. Exactly. So, no, we stopped in Louisville on the way back. We did tours and tastings at Rabbit Hole,
nice
distilling, and Kentucky Peerless as well.
And what were you supposed to do that you forgot to do?
Text you and
where you were going so that I could Venmo you.
Yeah. Well, there was a reason for that, and we'll get to that later on. But that's a side project thing. But in any event, I got to tell you just a quick aside. The Rabbit Hole, fantastic.
That's why I would have. Like, okay, what do they have there? What can I?
And and we actually it was the tour was arranged through industry that we knew, and that actually sells them their malt. And we had our tour. We did the normal stuff, and we tasted them. And we actually talked to them, and they actually brought out just for a special bottle of their 5-grain. Rye that they make, and it was fantastic. And it's got chocolate malt and everything. It's a little darker, a little sweeter, a little nicer, a little smoother. So Matt and I are looking at each other. We should get a bottle of this. And we went downstairs, and it was $800 for a bottle. So I'm sorry, $700.
I wouldn't have Venmo'd you that.
Yeah, no. We opted not to get a bottle of that. So, but at least we got a half-ounce pour of it, so that was nice. But and Kentucky Peerless was awesome too. I mean, their double rye was fantastic. It was really good. But in any event,
well, cheers.
Tim, where did you guys? Where were some of the places you hit down there while you were at? I can't believe I didn't. I mean, there were so many people. We were in seminars. We had a lot of, as you would imagine, we had a lot of shit to do on a trade show floor with some vendors and stuff. And everything else we did, but I totally spaced on texting you guys. Where'd you guys wind up?
We ended up getting down there pretty late. So we got down like Monday afternoon, and we left like Wednesday afternoon.
So it was a whirlwind kind of thing.
Yeah, we were in and out. So by the time we got in on Monday, went to the hotel, did this and that. It was a little too late to go down to the trade show, so we kind of just hit up Broadway. And just kind of walked down there. The owners had never been out to Nashville, so they kind of wanted to see what the town was about.
Nice.
I had a friend describe Broadway to me. Said honky tonk, souvenir shop, honky tonk, barbecue joint, honky tonk, boot shop, honky tonk, hat shop, honky tonk, souvenir shop.
You forgot the hot chicken, and hot chicken. You forgot that.
True.
Yeah,
Mondays there just feel like a Saturday. I just feel like the party just never stops. It's just,
it doesn't.
You just keep
going. I move rooms so that he wouldn't be on the show, and That
Now
was
she
that
is
was,
on the show.
that was Matt.
Oh, that was Matt.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was Kerry.
No. He does voices. We're trying to get him to be a voice actor.
There you go. You should. That was awesome. He sounded just like his mother.
But as far as breweries go, I made it out to Southern Grist. We went to we went to Barrique and also Bearded Iris.
Yeah,
so
we got to Bearded Iris. They had at Bearded Iris when we were there. They had a Vienna, a Pils, a pastry stout, 1 IPA, and 8 double IPAs.
Which is very true. I'm surprised they had the Pils.
No.
Because usually their list is pale ale, 3 IPAs, 2 pastry stouts, and 6 any IPAs.
Exactly.
Doubles.
Exactly. Matt just wanted to throw in there, and it's true. He says, "Don't forget the boot shops that are also honky tonks."
That is
Which
true.
is correct. That is correct. And the best part about it is anywhere you go on there, any store you go into, be it the honky tonk, the boot shop that's a honky tonk, the hat shop, the souvenir shop, there's someone in there playing music.
Yeah.
Right.
Same. Yeah, on every floor of the bar, there's somebody playing music from 10 a.m. until they close at all times.
I was in one honky tonk in the hallway to the bathrooms. There was someone playing guitar. I don't know if he was supposed to be there playing guitar, but it's everywhere.
People on the street playing instruments. It's insane.
It was crazy. Yeah, we were there Monday night. We went to the Deutsche party at Martin's Barbecue and had a ton of barbecue. It was great. And then we went over to the Malt Europe party at the Redneck Riviera. Which is across the street from Kid Rock's bar. And we were over there till probably 10 o'clock, and then we went over to Kid Rock's bar afterwards, and it was slammed. It was packed.
Yeah, Kid Rock's was. I agree with that. That was probably the busiest, or
Oh yeah,
most people
absolutely.
were there. Probably the better bands too.
Oh yeah, the band was fantastic.
Yeah.
The band was fantastic.
We stayed there till the end on Monday night, and the
at
band
Kid
was
Rock's?
doing at Kid Rock's, and the band was
So
doing
we were there with you. We just there was no way we were seeing you.
Yeah, there's no way. But I don't know.
You could have been standing right next to us, and we wouldn't have seen you. So
yeah, I don't know if you guys were there for the very last song, but somebody paid the band $600 to play one song, the last song, and it like blew my mind. Like they're doing they're doing this auction style. Like,
they were I saw that. We were there.
It starts at $20 and it got all the way up to $600 before they played.
What did they wind up playing?
And it was like Miley Cyrus or something like that. Like, it was ridiculous.
Were you there? Were you there when they I don't know how much they paid for it, but they had them do Eminem?
I didn't. I wasn't there for that.
You were there at that point, so we might have just missed each other. Because that was like there was maybe 1 or 2 songs after that, and we left and went to we actually went to a cocktail bar. It was a lot quieter. had some bourbon and rye and just relaxed. But that was cool. But no, it was a great night. It really was. It was a great trip.
It was fun time.
Yeah. So it was awesome.
Were you there? Were you there for the last CBC that was there a few years ago?
I was not. It was 2018. I wasn't there in 2018. No, yeah.
So I just got a text from Matt saying, "I'm so fucking sorry. I really hope your mic didn't pick that up." It did.
Tell him no, not at all. But John thinks you were your mother, but that's besides.
Oh man.
That's good. No, it was a great trip. And next year's Vegas. Hey, so.
Oh, that's right, Vegas.
And it's earlier too. It's in April.
Really?
It's like the 3rd week in April. It's like the 21st to the 24th is Vegas. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be an interesting trip.
I don't know. I don't know how too many people are going to be going to them seminars, but
we might just do the trade show.
Do the trade show, and then watch the seminars online after.
Watch the seminars online afterwards, right?
Yeah,
well, I don't. Yeah. Why? You know what the way they do that. I mean, that's cool that they do that.
Yeah.
But why? Why even pay for the full conference?
I was thinking that too. I guess unless you want to like be there to ask questions, which most people leave a minute before they even end.
Yeah, I mean,
there's really no point.
Yeah, it's funny, unless it's. I mean, I haven't logged in yet, but unless it's, you got to log in with your Brewers Association email, and then if you had paid for the full conference, you can access that might be a thing too.
Oh, maybe. But I never, because I've always gone. I never went back to watch them because I've always had my notes and stuff.
Yeah, all the notes I took. I don't need anything else. I was
But-
actually interested in. There was 2 seminars that were simultaneous to 2 ones that I took.
That,
So I was
that always
interested in
happens. The two one you want is always at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was interested in like maybe later in the week when I'm just like I can sit and relax. Maybe even I was gonna say maybe Saturday, but I got a damn beer fest on Saturday. So maybe next Sunday, I'll log on and see what that's about. And I'll let you know too if it's something you need to log in for. But either way, it was cool. And the year after 2025, a little closer to home.
Is that Philly?
Back in Philly, yeah.
Back in Philly, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first one I ever went to. The one in Philly
Was
was
it?
my first.
Yeah,
year,
that was interesting.
Yeah.
My first was out in Denver, but
yeah, that was a good time.
but that was years ago. That was a while ago. In any event, we're where were we going? Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. What events? Speaking of like a beer fest that I got coming up this Saturday, you guys doing any events this year? You going any beer fest? You do anything at the brewery event wise or?
We haven't really like we've only opened a few months ago, so we're
Right.
still trying to like kind of feel it out a little bit. We had like a band play for our grand opening or on St. Patty's Day, which actually was a pretty good turnout. So we'll
Nice.
probably try to do more events like that. But also right now the main thing is there's only, I'm sure you know as well, there's only so much like posting on social media can do to get people here. You kind of have to go out and like, mingle with everybody and, meet people that don't actually, either don't look or whatever, never heard of you. So yeah, I've been doing some of that. So the last 3 weeks I've been at beer festivals. So the first one down, I grew up down in like Cherry Hill area. So there's a bar down there, the Blue Monkey Tavern. They do like a spring thing.
That'll explain the flying fish internship.
Yeah, so that's why I was down there. So luckily I know the new owners of that bar, so I kind of sent them a message like, hey, if you got an open spot, I'd love to come down and pour. So I went down there, and then up here in Colts Neck, we did for the Kentucky Derby. They had a Derby day at their rec center, so it was like a charity thing, which was cool to help them build trails, hiking trails and stuff. So we did that, and that was fun, just to kind of get out in your backyard to where people are like, I didn't even know you were open kind of thing. So, kind of do that event and kind of get a couple people that are like, oh, yeah, I'll come by. So, like, doing these events one by one to get a, handful of people to know who you are and come in. And then, like I said, this past weekend, we did Brews by the Bay at the Seafarer,
Nice.
which was a really cool event, like right over there on the water, on the dock. Beautiful day, nice breeze blowing through. And then also, one thing I like doing is, when all your friends are doing it at the other breweries, it's kind of nice to all meet up and hang out. Kind of, just talk beer with everybody. So
That's awesome. Oh, definitely. Huge.
that's been
That's
fun.
what you do at them if you're behind the taps.
Yeah. And they had volunteers pouring for you, so you didn't really have to do much unless.
Oh, John knows about volunteers.
Yeah.
John had the world's greatest volunteer at Brewsology. This kid was a machine, an absolute machine. He was awesome. What was his name, John?
I don't even remember. I actually wrote it down somewhere, but he was fantastic. He started pouring. It was a 3.5 hour event, right? He started pouring. He did not want to take a break. He didn't stop to go to the bathroom.
Nice.
Nothing. He poured the entire time.
Neither did John, Matt, Jim, or Jess have to pour it all.
Nothing.
Nice.
It was just his kid the whole time. And you said he learned the beers. He could speak to the beers.
Yep. He did. He came over early. He sat with us for about 15 minutes. He learned the 3 beers. One he only had to pour one for a little while because it was just the VIP beer, and once that ran out into the other such was just the Sixtel. Then he had to stop pouring that. But no, he learned the beers and spoke about them great and was very very. It was probably the best volunteer I've ever worked with, whether, in this
For anything.
That's funny.
This kid was so professional. It was it's like you want to go find his parents and shake their hands.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This kid was raised right.
But Steve Ashton, however, didn't I guess they ran short and he didn't get a volunteer, so he was pouring, and then he wound up with a volunteer later on, which was Al
Catullo. That's right.
Al Catullo was pouring for Steve Ashton.
That's right.
But what shirt was Al Gattullo wearing?
The Coastal Brew Works shirt. We were all wearing it. There was about 8 of us wearing that shirt?
Yeah.
8 or 9.
Wow.
So it's a big walking billboard.
Exactly. That was great. But anyway,
especially Jim, Al, and me.
Oh yeah, no, that was definitely it. What Tim,
and Gene.
And Gene, yeah.
Mm.
I gotta ask you, are you guys doing AC or no?
No, we're not doing
You're
AC.
not doing AC.
I think we kind of because I know you got to sign up for that a little early. I think we're a little too late for that one.
Gotcha.
Which I heard that's the number 2, the second biggest festival in the whole country or something.
Yeah. GABF's number 1. AC Beer Fest is number 2.
I heard. And what they got? 311 playing this year.
Dropkick Murphys are playing on Saturday. 311's playing on Sunday.
Nice.
So that was a coup. That was really good that he got those.
And the thing about it is, as long as I've been in the New Jersey craft beer scene, this will be my first AC Beer Fest.
He's never been. Wow. I've only missed one. He's never gone once.
But the thing that got me to go, the Dropkick
Murphys. Yeah.
Nice. I never poured at that event, but I went there one time when I first starting. And it was when the legit Four Locos had just hit the market, like the real ones.
Oh god!
And they had those there. Those I remember, drinking those and just being on a different planet. But right. Yeah, that's my memory of the AC Beer Fest.
Well, having no memory of
having no memory.
No, this should be a good one. Are you gonna go?
No, I don't think I'm gonna go. That's like one of the weekends I don't have now that I'm not doing that festival. It's like one of the weekends I'm not doing anything, so I'm just gonna relax. You
can actually be home with the family. You can be.
Yeah. I'll have a family, but I'll be home doing something by myself.
You can be home with you.
Exactly.
So, little quiet time.
Yeah. John will be working, so I'll be representing the Lager Room guys, and I'm gonna hunt down every guest we've had.
Absolutely.
And go live with them.
As you should.
Yeah.
And I'll pop over for a few of them. We'll pick. We'll have to.
I will drag Gattullo to the booth.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know if I can drag him to the booth, but
you could escort him.
I could ask him nicely.
Right. Anyway, cool. All right. What do you guys think about doing the top 3? What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's do the top 3.
I've got to put my glasses on for it.
Oh no, you got to.
And let's see if I can actually read my chicken scratch.
Your printing, your handwriting is chicken scratch.
It's awful.
All right,
that's really awful.
All right, so our top 3 list, Tim, really quick, was tell you anybody that's a long time listener or watcher, the viewer of this show, watcher.
Watcher. That's a
watcher. How do we get
watcher or listener?
Knows the drill, but we do a top 3 list for 2 reasons. One, the number 3, we pay homage to 1933, the repeal of prohibition, and also doing a top 10 list would take way too long since we usually don't stick to 3 anyway when we do.
Yeah, I've got 6.
All right. So anyway, so Tim, so tonight our top 3 list is top 3 Nashville beers since Tim and I were just in Nashville, and Dave has been. So we're doing top 3 Nashville beers. So, Tim, kick it off. Give us your top 3.
All right. So to continue with the crisp theme, my number 3 was the Hoppy Crisp from Southern Grist. Yeah. I had a few of their beers there. They were really good. That's just really top notch brewery. 1 and 2, kind of a toss-up. I couldn't decide which one I liked number 1 overall because they're both really good. But I really liked the Barrique, their cask mild.
It was fantastic, wasn't it?
It was so good.
Oh my god, it was so good.
I just sat there, and that's like the only beer I wanted to drink.
I think I had 3 of them. Actually, I had 2.5 of them because Augie drank half of one of mine.
That's twice.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But they're also the bottles. They're the Strata wet hop bottle that I got that as well. I actually ran into the Screaming Hill and Alternate Ending guys there, so we kind of split a couple of bottles of those.
Nice.
So they were really good. I didn't put that one on my list, but it was good. And then my number 1, which like I said, it was going back and forth with the mild, was Southern Grist Teal, their IPA.
That teal was fantastic.
That was probably one of the best IPAs I've had in recent memory, and it was a really good beer. It was soft and pillowy, and just everything just kind of flowed in that beer. It was one of the first beers I've had in a while. That I was just like, damn, this is just.
That was a really well done beer. That was fantastic.
Yeah. So that was my 3.
I'll get to his in a minute. Awesome. That's great. All right, Dave, your 3.
Nope, pull up Matt's. He's
I'll pull it up now. Okay, fine. He said the cast mild Brick was great. Also the Czech Dark. The Czech Dark was fantastic too.
I agree as well. I had that as well. Yep, that was good.
All right. Have at it, Samurai.
I actually lied. I've got 7 here.
Oh, geez.
Well, the first 2 are honorable mentions because the brewery doesn't exist anymore. South of Nashville, I forget the town it was in. It was a brewery called Mantra.
Well, then it's not a Nashville beer, though, is it?
Yeah, it's a Nashville beer. But man, the 2 favorite from there was Descenda, which was a lemon lime sour. It almost tasted like someone took a sour and took those lemon lime bottle caps and put those in there. I mean, this thing was tart.
What was the name of the brewery again?
Mantra.
Mantra.
Yeah. But their chocolate peanut butter stout, Guru Gish, was fantastic. It was, my God, that thing was good. I bought as much of that as I possibly could and get back home with me. Sadly, they went out of business. So now I'll get to the ones that still exist, and I'll build off that Southern Grist because it seems to be a theme here. I've got 2 from them. Batida with passion fruit. I actually had that in Brooklyn, in an event in Brooklyn. The passion fruit, I've never had so. This beer, it was like you were just straight up eating a passion fruit, but there was beer to it. Southern Grist is so good at getting flavors and just making them seem natural in there.
This Christmas Ellis I'm drinking is like it's just so spot on that it's just I mean
they're really, really good.
I can't explain if you know like a dialed in beer, right? Yeah. There's no like you're expecting this and you get this and it leans this way or it leans this way. It's right down the middle. It's just right there.
It's got to be where it is. Yeah, and they're very good at that. I also had one that was a black currant Blueberry Hill. It was called. So blueberries and black currants in it. Oh God, this beer was so good. One brewery is just a little south of Nashville, but I think it's still in the Nashville city limits. Is Black Abbey.
Mm-hmm.
And Black Abbey, when I was down there, they did a Corsair Black Walnut Barrel Aged Special. This thing was the things they took out of that barrel that they got from Corsair. Corsair is a distillery in Nashville. They're pretty well known. They do some pretty damn good stuff. Their bourbon is pretty well regarded. Even though they're not in Kentucky. But that one's really, really good.
Is that Corsair what?
Corsair Black Walnut. And
Black Walnut.
Yeah, John, that should make you
makes me happy.
Yeah, very happy. Barrel aged special. But then we brought up Bearded Iris, and John and I were talking Bearded Iris earlier today. We kind of joke around that they've really become a double IPA, pastry stout house. Hit what's popular.
Other half south is basically what they are.
Yeah, very, very much so.
Which is great. I'm just saying.
Which is great. But they make phenomenal beers. So I have to mention one of their pastry stouts that I absolutely loved. It's called Lavish. It's a triple vanilla pastry stout. It's fantastic. And the other one is I can't read my writing.
Chocolate.
Oh, Chasing Rainbows.
Chasing Rainbows.
Did you have that one?
Yeah.
That was of all of the IPAs I had there, and I had a lot of IPAs there. That was my favorite. That was, you mentioned, Tim, you used the word soft and pillowy.
Yeah.
This thing laid your head down on and just fallen right asleep on this thing.
It's one of those things where, as a brewer, you try to figure that one out. It's just like, like when somebody nails it perfectly, it's just like, wow.
Oh, and they did. This is, I think out of all of maybe, think all of Tennessee beers may have gotten the highest rating I ever gave anything. So that's why I mentioned it last. And the brewery. What can you say about the brewery space? They've got mannequins in there, a chandelier. that space is nuts.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's got a great feel. I love drinking there.
That's awesome. Is that a video game or a show that's on right now?
That's not this side. That's coming from Tim. That's whatever he's got on the radio.
We got the radio on. I turned it down a little bit.
Okay,
but,
no. I thought I don't care. I thought I was just busting chops. I thought it was either video game, Matt's video game, or
not
very stupid.
I'm on this because we're open downstairs, so I'm on like the top level.
No, I know.
So it's like higher, higher. That's
funny. I just thought it was still Dave. That's great.
Well, the funny thing is the mic that I have, Carrie got me this mic. This mic picks up everything within about 2 miles.
About a month ago, Tim, Kerry very gently placed a spoon in the sink 20 feet away, and it sounded like it sounded like somebody threw a weight onto a metal floor. That's how.
The one thing we've not had happen yet during the show is the fire department's not gone by.
No, you can't. Well, because you're in a different room now, so
it doesn't matter. The window's still right there. It would have picked it up.
So they've been. There you go. So they've been fire prevention's been doing their job.
Union City's been good at not burning shit down.
There you go. Fair enough.
And John knows that sometimes Union City's really good at burning shit down because
sometimes they're very good at it. Yeah.
I was at work one day, and I look out the window because I hear all these fire engines, and I look, and about 2 blocks away there is a house burning to the ground. And I'm updating John and a couple of other friends on the progress of this thing burning to the damn ground. But the fire department did a great job of saving the buildings next to it.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's about, right? Once the building's gone, you gotta worry about the exposures, and that's it. And I know a little bit about that.
Yeah. I started saying that, like, oh boy, I just triggered John's PTSD right there. Anyway. Tim, if you don't know, John's house burnt down because the house next to it burnt down, and the fire department did not do a very good job of
saving the exposures.
Yes, of putting a curtain between.
It didn't work. Didn't work too well. But anyway, on that note, here are my top 3.
Looks like you got a new house at least, though. There you go.
This is true. Yes.
Yeah. Now he lives down the shore.
Because it used to be in Essex County. Now I'm in Plymouth. So
sorry for those of you who listen to our show are not from Jersey. Down the shore means by the beach.
Yes.
Down the shore is a Jersey term.
Exactly. Down the shore. You know what? There's enough people that watch that fake reality show
where none of them are from Jersey.
Where none of them are from Jersey in the first place, but they know what down the shore means. So there you go. In any event. All right. So my top 3. Which I
really hope that the people that are fans of that show are not fans of this show.
Pretty much. But they've heard it, right? They've heard it. At some point, maybe they didn't watch
it. But you'd only hear that phrase if you're actually watching.
Fair enough. All right. So my honorable mentions are going to be 3 barriques. Are my honorable mentions.
See, I never got there.
The Cask Mild.
How long has Barrique been open?
They've been open a while. I mean, they do a lot of barrel aging, a lot of barrel. I mean, Tim, how many barrels would you safely say that there were sitting on racks?
Oh man, it felt like an infinity amount. It was
like
never ended.
200-300 maybe. I would say
way more. I think way more than that.
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because some of them were double. Some of them were double stacked and then up. So maybe 400 or 500.
Yeah. At least, yeah.
But yeah. So I'll give you this. 2 of them that were mentioned already. Obviously, the Cask Mild, stupid good, and the Czech Dark as well. And I'm going to throw another one in there. We went back for the Rauk Beer event on the Tuesday, and they were there. There was a lot of other breweries that brought Rauk beers to the event. So I'm not going to mention them because they weren't really Nashville beers. They were other beers that were poured in Nashville, right? But Barrique did a Gratzer, which was pretty damn tasty.
Really?
Pretty damn tasty, yeah. And that was there on Tuesday. So those 3 are my honorable mentions. Here are my top 3, and it's going to be a little weird, or if not, maybe not. I'll give it to you. And my number 3 is a beer called Sieg. It's a Kolsch from Living Waters. I don't know if you got up to Living Waters. It's actually in East Nashville.
Would that be outside of Nashville now?
It's Nashville. It's Nashville. The name Nashville is still in the title of the town, right? But the well, I mean, technically, Southern Grist is in East Nashville too.
Yes,
So.
yes, it is.
Right. Southern Grist and Living Waters are about 6 blocks from each other. So,
Gotcha. Out by the there's what community airport out that way.
something out there, yeah. It's
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
it's the opposite direction from the Nashville airport. But
Oh yeah, not the not the big one.
our Airbnb was right next door to Living Waters, right next door. Like so, we actually walked out the front door, walked 50 feet, and walked in the door to Living Waters. It was
Nice.
It's almost like we did that intentionally.
maybe. So,
And I told you about my Airbnb that I'm getting in Ireland, right?
you did. More on that in a second.
Yes.
Matt just said, and I'll say it now because I talked about the Gratzer. He said Gratzer was a pecan wood smoked wheat malt, really nice subtle sweetness with light smoke. It was very good. It was very tasty, very tasty. But so anyway, Sieg, my number 3 is Sieg. It's a Kolsch from Living Waters. That was so clean. It was so crisp. It was a really, really good, well-made Kolsch. That's my number 3. My number 2 from Southern Grist. It was a wild ale. It was a gin barrel aged. Perpetual Composition is the name of the beer, but it was a gin barrel aged wild ale. Go figure. I like something in a gin barrel. Imagine that. The only thing that could have made that even better was if they put a couple of black currants in it. Then it would have been
and a little black walnut bitter.
And black, well, 601, right?
Black.
And my number 1 is from a brewery that nobody's mentioned yet. That we found, and Matt and I had a very, very fun time. Well, all did. Jess, Jim, all of us had a great time at it. Fate La Force.
I've never even heard of that one.
Fate La Force. It's literally about 3 blocks away from. Yeah, really. I'm going to do it again. Starts with a J. Jackalope. Thank you. About 3 blocks away from Jackalope. Fate La Force, big into Belgians and Czechs and stuff like that, and a couple of Germans. Their Imperial Menace, their dark lager, was stupid good. So there you go. So those are my top. Imagine that. A Schwartz beer was my number 1. Imagine that. Shocker.
Fate La Force. It's French.
Fate La Force.
In French, you don't pronounce
Fate La Force.
It's a weird thing with French is if there's a consonant at the end of it, you don't pronounce it.
Fate La Force.
If there's a vowel after that consonant, like an E, then you pronounce that consonant.
Right. Fate La Force. I think of the strength or something like that. Or I'm not.
Well, fey comes from the word fair, which is to do. So
do with strength. Do with strength, or something along those lines.
Or may the force be with you. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know, but yeah, that Fate La Force was fantastic. Unity, Matt just said, unity is strength. That's what it stood for them. They actually had that. I think that was in their Wi-Fi, either password or something or whatever. But he also said Living Waters also does coffee, and their coffee stout was damn good. Yeah, it was. They also do. I was remiss to say that they also do. It's a brewery, and they do coffee because they're allowed to in Tennessee. And their coffee was fantastic. I smelt a lot of it. Didn't have one because anytime we went there, we just had beer. But their coffee stout was damn good. It was.
Nice.
So there you go.
I like coffee stouts.
Yeah, I enjoy coffee stouts. I enjoy coffee porters. I enjoy coffee. That is.
Okay. So what it is, it's Haiti's national coat of arms bears the motto "L'union fait la force," meaning unity makes strength.
Unity makes strength.
But it's got to have that "L'union fait la force."
The union fait la force, whatever. Okay. So I guess that's where they were going. But fantastic space. Really beautiful space, really nicely done. They have garage doors that open up, and they have bars sitting right across them, kind of like Dave, kind of like
Sig.
Yeah, but more like
fifth.
Well, I was going to say, like Fifth Hammer, and like Augur's Well has in front the very small.
Oh yeah.
These were right across the whole front, so you could sit there, and it's on a hill, so you can look out and see downtown Nashville from there.
Oh wow,
really
now this is good information because we got to get back. We got to get back to Nashville, and Tennessee, because one of the options today for the top 3 was top Tennessee breweries. which reminded me of Knoxville. And Knoxville's craft beer scene has been growing up through the years.
It has been. Yep.
And I looked it up today, and there's so many more breweries there. John, you stopped in there for a little bit, and you hit the German brewery.
We hit Schultzbräu, yep, and Schultzbräu was actually really the beers were. We had a few. We had a Doppelbock, we had a Schwarzbier, we had 2 or 3. We had a rye barrel aged Doppelbock, and Matt actually had the port wine barrel aged Doppelbock as well.
Oh, port barrel aged! Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
And the food was fantastic too. I had sauerbraten. So I'm eating sauerbraten in May. What was better?
Oh my God! Gee. So you got all the acid from the beer, the acid from the sauerbraten. It must have been a long night.
It was fun, and we had 2.5 hours in the car after I ate that too. So.
Oh God!
There we go. And Matt just said their Schwarzbier is great, and their Rogan beer was very good. The Rogan beer was fantastic at Schultzbräu.
It's been a while since I've had a good true Rogan beer.
And that's right. I also had the Rauk beer too. That was fantastic. Their smoked Bock. That was very, very tasty. So, anyway,
seriously need to get back to definitely Knoxville and absolutely Nashville.
There you go. All right, Tim, you got anything else coming up? Beers on the horizon. Plans for the future for the brewery? Anything that you want to share?
Other than expanding the space because you're going to be too small.
Other than, like Dave said, you need a bigger warehouse in about a month.
Other than we talked about earlier, I got the ESB coming out this weekend. I'm still working on my summer plan, but hopefully, I'm hoping next month I'm going to try to get into like 5 to 10 local accounts around here.
Nice.
Start getting send a little draft out there just so I can kind of, keep the beer moving, keep brewing, kind of keep things fresh. So kind of try to keep it local. That way, I don't have to drive, take a truck an hour or two. Just try to say local.
Start with Freehold, work your way out to Monmouth, and then on from there. And
exactly.
and that's where you're gonna need the bigger space. So.
Yeah, exactly. So just gonna try to keep it small and keep focusing on bringing people into the tasting room and. Whatever extra beer I have, hopefully we get a couple of counts and send it out. So.
Let everybody know. I forgot to ask you this before. Let everybody know what's the size of your brew house?
We have a 10 barrel.
You have a 10 barrel.
Yeah, 10 barrel with 3 10s and a 20 barrel.
Very nice, very nice. So you got some decent beer. It's not like you're brewing a small, tiny batches.
Yeah, so
you got some decent beer put together. So.
I can put. I'm definitely the IPAs. Obviously, I'm doing 10 barrels of that because I can move it. But some of the smaller stuff, I've been just doing half batches and kind of just to keep it going, really. So
gotcha. Awesome. That's great. Well, like I said, the space is fantastic. It's beautiful. It's and the location right downtown in Freehold. It's a pretty street. There's a lot going on.
Yep.
A lot of restaurants right around.
A lot of restaurants right there. And,
right off the massive public parking lot.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Which doesn't seem big enough anymore.
It's still not big enough. It's massive, and you still have to shark around for a parking spot.
When we were there, there were no spots in the parking lot, but I was able to park directly across the street. So.
That's right. Yeah, you got lucky there.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fantastic. But yeah, no, and the beer, yeah. I mean, kudos, cheers.
Appreciate it.
Seriously, I'm not
you do that after I finish my beer.
Yeah. As I say, I got an empty glass. I don't want to cheers it.
My God, when this warms up, you can taste that they use Maris.
Well, is that bad?
No, not at all. It's appropriate to the style.
Exactly. So awesome. All right. Well, Tim, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. This is a great show. Really appreciate you coming on. Stick around. We're going to talk to you for a couple minutes after we sign off. But on that note, we'll wrap the show.
Here comes the exit spiel.
The exit spiel, right? We want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening.
I'm going to have to talk to you about the whole Spotify thing after the show, by the way.
Okay. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. It's LEGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and, of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one of those feeds and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And we will talk to you soon, folks. Take care. Cheers.
There's nothing left.
It sucks.